Welcome back to another scooter video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to air. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Chase Rost, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to air. Before we get started, let me change my shirt because I got sweaty. There we go. Might as well throw on some knee pads while we're at it. Now we're properly ready to start doing airs. So there's three main tips that are going to help you learn how to air, which is the first one, learning to pump a ramp. Number two, learning to 180. And number three, learning to take off and land within transition. So jumping into number one, which is going to be learning to pump, you first want to make sure that you are comfortable with riding on ramps. If you're not comfortable with riding on ramps, get comfortable with riding on ramps. It's so important that you actually know the transition before you start trying to air above the coping. A great thing to do is to pump around a bowl or a half pipe. Just start low on the transition, go back and forth until you can slowly get higher, and you learn to really use those legs. Get those legs going when you're going on that transition. It's going to help you a lot when it comes to being able to air, because the more you can use your legs to really push off and get that landing going, it's really going to help. And then also, it really helps when you learn to 180 before you try to air. So if you're on the flat ground, just practice like kind of rotating, getting that spin down, get comfortable rotating, especially in the air. It's only gonna be better the more 180s and movements you know how to do. So practice just sitting here, just popping a 180, getting used to that motion. It's really gonna help. Also, when you're in the air and doing the 180, it's not so much a full 180 that you're doing. You can kind of arc it. You can kind of like do a 90 in the air and kind of like drift in the air and land into transition. This is actually going to help you catch more transition on the way down the more you arc the air. And then you're going to be able to kind of work in that 180 and eventually get higher and higher each time. But before you start going for maximum height, just practice doing a little 90s. A little 90s on the quarter pipe is going to help you get in the air. Maybe not above coping, but it's going to practice just kind of popping and barely getting that ramp, getting that feel of the ramp. After you're comfortable with the feel of the ramp, you're going to want to move on to learning to take off and land. So this is really crucial because there's so many steps within this one step that can determine a really high air or a really low air. First, we're going to start off by explaining how to take off. So when you're approaching the ramp, you're going to want to compress your legs first. You're going to compress like you're getting ready to jump. Once you get to within about a foot from the coping, you're going to almost jump straight up. Not out. You want to jump up. You want to be able to go up, not out. If you go out, you're going to land flat. So practice jumping straight up. This is going to carry you up the transition. So you get to that last foot, you're compressed, you're jumping up, and then you can also use the coping at this time as an advantage. This coping is actually there to give you more height. So you can use it with your back wheel. When you go up, you kind of let your back wheel bonk it on the top, and it really pushes you up. It's kind of like you're going up and you hit it, and it's kind of like a little boost it gives you. So we're starting from the bottom. We're going to compress. We're going to go straight up, jump straight up, pop off that coping. Right now, we're going to start to lean to the side and look at where we're going. If we're doing just a 180, which we are, we're practicing airs, we're going to just lean a little bit in the direction we're leaning. If you're goofy, you're going to go to the left, and if you're regular, you're going to go to the right. So I'm goofy. So when I go up the quarter pipe, I go up, I compress, straight up off the coping and lean a little bit, start to turn. Once you start to turn, you're in the area, you're at that pivot point. Now you gotta spot that landing. When you're coming down, you want to be able to stay loose. So when you're coming down the transition, picture what you just did when you're on the takeoff. You're gonna start to compress. So you're gonna go down, keep your legs, and then when you land, you're gonna compress. You're gonna absorb that landing just like you would on any transition. This is really gonna help you, especially if you do land flat. You're gonna be able to absorb that landing. It's not gonna feel so bad in your joints. But that's all three steps wrapped up in a bundle right there. I'm going to give you guys one bonus tip. Casing. When you guys case on a ramp, it's not the end of the world. Trust me, I've cased hundreds and thousands of times because it happens. Sometimes you misjudge the quarter pipe and it just happens. So a couple tips when casing: do not stay stiff. If you stay stiff like this and hit the quarter pipe, you're going to get bucked over your bars, and that's the last thing you want to happen. So when you're getting ready to case, you're coming down, spot your landing just like you would a normal air. Maybe take one foot off or both feet off, depending on how comfortable you are. I like to take my front foot off and prepare to put it on top of the deck or maybe on the coping. And I need to predict what the deck's going to do, because odds are if you're hitting coping, you're going to slide a little bit. So you're going to come down, case, and then absorb. You don't want to stay stiff. You stay stiff right here, you're going to go flying, or your scooter's going to hurt you. You're going to get hurt some way. So stay loose. You're going to hit the quarter pipe, hit the coping on the way down, and then just absorb it real quick, and then ride into the quarter pipe just like a normal trick, except you cased. It's no biggie, happens all the time, and a lot of people case. You're gonna have to case to be able to learn airs, so don't be afraid of casing. Maybe even try a couple disasters first. This is gonna help you get the idea of like what it's gonna feel like when your deck slaps the coping and you ride down it. Disasters are a great way to practice casing intentionally without being afraid to try them. But that's pretty much every tip right there for learning how to airs. I'm gonna do a couple more airs on this quarter pipe so you guys can see exactly what I mean in slow motion. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos like this in the future. I'm gonna be doing more videos like inverts, turn downs, tuck no handers, and much more. And also you guys can check out all my other tutorials on this channel. I have a lot. I'll also have them down in the description. But until the next video, later. Alright, here's a little first person point of view so you guys can see what's going on. Just to show you guys that casing really isn't that bad, I'm going to case, but it's going to be on purpose so it's going to be more like a disaster. Whew. So if you're ready to case, and always be ready to case, it's never going to end bad. I'm going to show you another example of how I bail from one. I'm going up, maybe I'm going to hit the coping a little bit, take my foot off, and absorb the landing. That way, when I hit the landing, and if it slides at all, I'm able to still stay on and just hop back in, just like a normal drop in. Once you become comfortable in the air, you'll eventually be able to start trying tricks just like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you in the next one.